All right, this is for Coach. Let's see what we got here. Something wrong here. I'm already messed up. This is for Coach J399. Okay, I'm going to read the comment. Uh, and it won't let me comment on your IZ or duo versus three down, inside zone or duo versus three down that I made for Bob. But have you had more success with the tight end in the backside of the A gap play or three versus three down? Or do you think it's more effective to have him on the front side or a wide receiver to block the strong side linebacker or RPO him with all the O line combos bumping back a spot? How do you teach the second scenario as far as who is working together and if there's something that you do? Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. As far as which side the tight end is, it really depends on what you're trying to do. But if you're if you're going to run duo, okay, I don't think inside zone matters. Okay, whether you're side saddle, sidecar rather, or pistol, um, I don't think the tight end really matters. I'm not big on tight ends. I used to be. I prefer a sniffer. I think sniffer has more options, can go across. Now the problem is with a sniffer, he's not always a viable receiver. But if you line him up out here and motion him in and do that stuff, but that's a whole nother question. Okay, so let's not even talk about inside zone, which is essentially what we have here. Okay, let's just talk about duo, okay? And when people are running duo, okay, the veer side, they're building this edge out, okay. Again, I think you can leave the tight end here, uh, you know, uh, between Toledo and Western Michigan, uh, the quarterback keeping the ball on tight zones when this guy sticks when the overhang player sticks his nose in there. If I had a dime for every one of them, I'd be a millionaire. Okay, but here's how we would signify this when the center's got basically two schemes. He's got even where he's working with the accordion side guard, or odd where he's working with the veer side guard, and that's basically all we say. We say odd and even. Well, right here, obviously, we're in odd, okay, and that means that everyone's working. The tackle's working to this spot. I don't want to go through the whole thing again, and the guard is working to the end. But if the tackle rewinds on the dig and grabs us, then the guard can work the spot. Now, the guard's not going to go chasing the spot. Neither's the tackle. Okay, if the spot hits it, all right. I've done this already, so I don't want to do it again. But here's something that we don't mind. Okay, if this guy doesn't get nosy, we don't mind this guy rewinding a little bit on his way up and grabbing that, because what it does is first place, if this spot doesn't want to get nosy, there's probably a fitter coming. So if we can get one of these guys on the fitter and one of these guys on the spot, we're in pretty good shape. Now, this is a bad drawing, but what we want to do is get our headgear and cover. Okay, and again, I talked about this, the skip. We're going to skip to cover. Okay, uh, here's the chip, the shoulder chip. We want to keep the open leg. We want to be able to control that. Okay, that's odd. Now, here's the thing on duo. Okay, you really got to think about this now. If you really want to know, this guy is an Apache. Okay, it would be very similar to C gap, where this would be the tight end, that would be the tackle, that would be the guard, that's the center, that's the backside guard, that's the backside tackle. This is the tight end on the line, and this is a tough damn thing for him to do. But he should skip Apache. We shouldn't even cover this. We should skip Apache. In other words, I got this drawn as a cover, but what it really should look like is this. It should be an Apache and then circle. Okay, and of course, if this guy's off the line or if he's a sniffer, it's a lot easier. But on the line, he should skip Apache or even arc Apache. Okay, When I was at Penn State, we used to practice the skips quite a bit, but the damn tight ends would never do it in the games. They wanted to arc everything. Um, what he's got to be able to do is allow this guy to get off on that backer who's going to jump up into the A gap. Okay, and he's got to shuffle to it. So it's not, the chip can't hang. If the backer's wider, by building this out, if you can move these backers over, it's pretty good. Okay, and I don't want to get into a bunch of formations. If you added a tight end on the backside, yeah, you know, you're one up on the defense, but you're one down over here maybe. I can't tell you about tight ends and receivers and all that. You have to work that stuff out yourself. But what I've learned is this: if the quarterback can pull the ball, if he has the option to pull the ball, you don't need much buildup over here, and you really don't need a tight end. You can do everything I'm talking about with a sniffer. Okay. But if this overhang sticks his nose in, the quarterback pulls the ball, and somebody's getting to the scrape people. And remember, if this backer wants to widen, this guy's going to hang on that. The spot's open. If he gets confused, he's always going to favor the spot. So let's say they bump all these guys over. They just bump him over one man. He's always going to favor that spot. He's never going to chase anybody. Okay, he's always going to favor. He's always going to get leverage on the read spot, the A gap runner. Okay, I don't know if that answers your question. Like in the NFL right now, they put like 17 guys over here and one guy over here. You're sitting there watching. You say, "Oh, who are they going to run duo?" You know, yeah. If you want to get into that stuff, I guess that's all right. They're pretty successful with it, but basically, when you start adding edges, you start adding add-ons. Okay, they're not even fitters. They're lined up. They're linebackers. Okay, and I'm not much for that game. You know, uh, Guys would ask me in staff meetings, "Well, what do you think they do if we went unbalanced into the boundary?" And I'd say, I don't know. What, you got any film on it? I mean, do you want to put it in? We don't have it. You want to do it? So I'm kind of a vanilla guy when it comes to that stuff. I'd rather get really good at what we're doing between the plays, our communication, how fast we can get the plays in, and our change of tempo. Some people, they just want to go breakneck speed. I want to have the threat of breakneck speed. You know, I want to be able to, Indy. I want the defense to fear us going like that Indy, but then being able to slow it down and check it and do whatever. Okay. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's what I got for you, and I hope it does. Um, the other thing you can do, of course, if you can handle this, is you can tell the tailback, if it closes up, bounce it. Okay, if he's running a gap, if it closes up, if the blockers bring the defense to the read spot, he'll slide, he'll jump cut that and slide outside. But if they're really playing hard two gap and you're not using shoulder chip and you're not getting this guy apache'd so that we can crease it here, some people would start scheming bounce. I don't know. I'd rather just work on the Apache. I watch guys run power bounce and all that. The secondary's back here somewhere. It's you know if if the secondary is four across, four deep, and they're trying to fit up from 9 yards, pick a play. Just run anything. That's me. Okay. So I hope that answers your question. I'll try to answer the other one too.